Welcome back to another episode of Hang 10. I am your host, meteorologist Brian Michigan, and it's an exciting week here because Atlantic Park is finally back open. They took a little bit of a hiatus. They had to do some maintenance to the pool itself, tweaking some of their waves, and they also had to just open up in general because there's a lot of stuff that wasn't complete for the first several months of operation. So they were taking some time off during the cold that was this past winter. So I'm sure nobody's too bummed about it, but it is warming up. Atlantic Park Surf is back open, and I got the opportunity to jump into an interview with Nate Stevens, the general manager of Atlantic Park Surf, to kind of get some information from him as to what they were working on, some information on some of the new waves and what you can expect in really the weeks and months here as we head through 2026. So really exciting stuff. I also got a chance myself to hop in the wave pool and surf a few waves, get my feet back under me after a little bit of time away from the wave pool. So that was really fun. Got to surf, I believe it was their expert barrel session. Now, you'll learn in the interview that there's now, I guess, some slight tweaks to the waves that you can surf there. So really exciting stuff. It'll all be explained in the interview. And so really excited to bring this to everybody. We'll have that now. Ladies and gentlemen, the general manager of Atlantic Park Surf, Nate Stevens. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hang 10. I'm Brian Michigan, joined by Nate Stevens. Yep. I want to first give you the floor, kind of talk about what you do at Atlantic Park Surf, because we're here hanging out. It's been the grand reopening, call it, just a couple days ago. Yep. So we're going to talk about all the new stuff that's come to the wave park. Yep. Got a couple new wave settings too. We'll break that all down, but let me give you the floor and talk about what you do.
Yeah, sure. Number one, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, of course.
Welcome back on this beautiful spring day. My name is Nate. I'm the general manager at Atlantic Park Surf. Have been kind of heading up operations for just about a year now, which is pre-opening, but we've been open for 6 months. Yeah. Had a brief kind of maintenance period over the winter, and yeah, now we're back open. This is day 2, and it's fantastic to see surfers back in the lagoon again.
Yeah, and hopefully for busy summer. I'm sure it will be.
Yep, this place is going to be insane for sure.
So just walk me through the past little bit. There has been the maintenance. I remember I was getting a lot of questions. Why was it closed? What's going on? Yep. Why is it closed? Is it closing down for good? And no, it's back and better than ever. You guys had to finish some things up. Obviously, when you first opened, not everything was complete.
Yeah, exactly. So there's always going to be some kind of different things going on. I mean, we want to operate a world-class facility, and it always is going to require some sort of upkeep. So that's what it is, just kind of a period of downtime to refresh the grounds. And we cover so many different things, from painting to tightening bolts to pressure washing, and then also use it as a period to retrain our teams and kind of just recharge and get ready for what's going to be certainly a record-breaking 2026.
And you guys got into the nuts and bolts with the construction process and kind of dialing everything in. I mean, it's a world-class machine that you guys are using too, so you obviously don't want to let that thing just run itself out into the ground. You want to keep up to date with it.
It's crazy. There's a lot of science and things that happen behind the scenes with a surf lagoon, especially of this nature. So it requires a lot of work. We've got a really great, strong team that essentially works around the clock. And then obviously the technology out of Wavegarden out of Spain. They're a phenomenal team to work with as well. So yeah, it's been good.
You mentioned to me before we started, you're from Texas.
From Texas, yeah.
And you've been here, about a year?
About a year, yep.
Tell me about how that move has been to Hampton Roads and how cool it is to have a wave pool in your own backyard now.
It's amazing. We were talking earlier, from Texas. I was introduced to the surf park industry with the first Wavegarden technology back in 2015 and 2016 in Austin, Texas. It was called Inland Surf Park. And I didn't know much about Virginia Beach. I learned about this project back in 2017, and I immediately kind of latched onto it. It caught my attention. Yeah. I was like, that's fantastic. And I tracked it from 2017 until where we're sitting today. And once I saw the opportunity to join this team, this project, come to fruition, I kind of dropped everything else that I had going on. And I was like, I've got to make this work. So the stars aligned, ended up here, moved here sight unseen with my wife, my dad, our two kids, our 3 dogs. Yeah, fully committed. And it's, when you move from a different location, especially in surfing, you're like, okay, well, how will I be received? The
Right.
Hampton Roads community has been so accommodating, so welcoming,
Yeah.
just welcome with open arms. It's been, I couldn't ask for a better experience and a better community to be a part of.
We're both kind of in that, within a year move.
Yeah.
So I have the same thoughts about the surf community here. It's super welcoming, which
Yep.
is why I'm so stoked that this is here.
Yep.
Because I feel like since it opened, all the events, Chlorine Clash is one I always think about. It was, so hype, 500 people hanging
Yep.
on basically on the beach, just watching some of the world's
Yep.
best. It's a great way to bring the whole surf community kind of together.
Yeah, thrown together in
Yeah.
like 7 days.
Wild.
So, yeah, it's insane. Yeah,
Wild.
that was a good one.
So let's get into some of the new additions
Yep.
to the Wave Park. I want to start with the hotel.
Yep.
Place people can stay, not just to, if they want to surf the pool, but if they just want to visit Virginia Beach in general. The Sitio.
Yep, the CTO.
I was trying to make sure
Yep.
I pronounced it right
Yep.
for the past 30 minutes. So the Sitio.
Yep.
Explain that process of getting that thing going over the past couple of months, and explain some of the amenities.
Yeah,
you can
sure.
Find there.
So, 20 room boutique hotel, very high end, you very much get this white glove service. The CTO is means place.
Yeah.
So it's a sense of place, a gathering spot. The team's done a phenomenal job designing that hotel, from the artwork to the custom furniture. It's very thoughtfully curated. It's really an incredible space. If you get a chance to go check it out, I highly recommend that you do. Their opening day is actually, I think, either today or tomorrow.
Oh, wow, okay.
So brand new. They've got a really beautiful bar and lounge area in the space. Obviously, an incredible view of the lagoon. And then the outdoor balcony and the deck is just top notch. There's a nice swimming pool up there as well. Beautiful furniture. So it's definitely like the place to be and hang out.
If someone wants to book a stay, you mentioned it's, that's opening in a couple of days.
Yep.
The time we're filming this, the time that people are
Yep.
watching this, it may already be open. Where can people go
Yep.
to book a stay?
thectovb.com. Yep. And reservations are open. They're accepting bookings. And 20 rooms, so you definitely want to be sure to get your booking in.
Especially holiday times.
Holiday times, yep, for
summer.
sure. So they're already seeing a lot of demand and attention for the space. And you definitely want to book up your stay if you want to get guaranteed spot.
Let's go from the Sitio to Wise Guys Pizza.
Yep.
A new food establishment
Yep.
here. As a Jersey guy, it makes me pretty stoked because that's all we eat up there. It's Italian food, pizza.
Yeah.
Talk about Wise Guys Pizza, and you mentioned specialty slices. I love myself a nice buffalo chicken. So talk about Wise Guys Pizza. And
Wise Guy Pizza, from a personal standpoint, I will say it's been like pretty irresistible. And the pizza's phenomenal. They've got a lot of specialty slices, like you just mentioned. The chicken paneer, the buffalo ranch, margarita, vegetarian, gluten-free options. They've got a full service bar in there as well. So you can actually, while we can't drink inside the lagoon area, you can walk in and enjoy a nice beverage if you wish to do so. The team there is, again, phenomenal. I'm gonna say that about all the teams, but I truly mean that. And they're open 7 days a week. They've been opening around lunch, staying open through dinner, and their operating hours will certainly expand as we get into kind of peak season.
Right.
But the pizzas. Their quote is, "It's damn good pizza." I think that's what their motto is. So yeah.
maybe try not to eat it before you surf.
Probably try not to eat it, but if you find yourself in there
After the session, though, reward yourself for sure.
And they've got this really great lunch special. You can get like 1 slice or 2 slices, garlic knots, the drink, and everything. So they've got some pretty good deals in there as well.
So we've kind of covered a lot of what's inside the park, but there's also behind us, lining kind of the outsides, there's a bunch of other shops too that are seeming to be fresh, just open. Want to talk about some of those, highlight some of those?
Yeah, so there's a few that are open already. I think probably 90% are becoming operational within the next 60 days.
Yeah.
So today's opening day for Faraday, which is kind of a coastal apparel brand. We've got Johnny O. They've been open for a little while. Sweet Spot, high-end desserts. Again, I try to practice in moderation. Very hard to do. And then we've got
Especially with sweets.
with sweets, yeah, I know that's your sweet tooth place for sure. We've got Quiet Storm surf shop opening here pretty soon, and let's see, I think I've covered most of the Lululemon. They're going to be moving in soon, so that's a big deal. That's made the news recently, coming over from Town Center. And then we've got a handful of F&B outlets. So Mi Vida, if you haven't been there, phenomenal kind of high-end Mexican food. The grill is right across the street, adjacent to the Dome.
Yeah.
Steakhouse, really great, top-notch, kind of more American food. And then we've got Only at Renee's. They'll be opening here pretty soon. So the entire district is going to be operational by this summer, and you can make a whole weekend trip and just stay within the Atlantic Park district.
There's like a VR place right down the
Sandbar,
street too.
yeah, Sandbox VR. They've opened with great success. They've been open for a while now, and so yeah, you can really cover all bases. Something for everybody.
I think one of our reporters did a story and just hung out there all afternoon. So
the content that comes out of Sandbox VR is hilarious.
It's cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah.
There's a couple other things that are still in the works. The Hampton Social.
Yep.
Explain what that's going to be.
So Hampton Social, it's a 2-story level restaurant, about 10,000 square feet over here. Southern kind of chic food. So really, they've got a handful of locations throughout the U.S. I think Nashville, Orlando, don't quote me on Dallas, I believe. But they've got, it's like really good. Like you get your mimosas, your eggs Benedict. So that type of food.
Yeah.
And it's a really, again, thoughtfully curated interior design, but a large space. So for social gatherings, corporate kind of retreats or bookings, they'll be able to accommodate that crowd. And so we're looking forward to them. They should be open by June.
And then finally, food trucks.
Yep.
Or a food truck or multiple? Is it multiple or
A
just one?
food truck for now.
Yeah.
So Aloha Snacks, who is very well known.
I was going to say, there's a location right down the road.
Yep, location right there. That truck will actually probably be pulling up any minute now. So we're looking forward to having Chef Jesse out here. So Hampton Social, we've got a couple other Playa Bowls. Mm-hmm. They're here, Milk and Honey. They've been operational for a while. That place is packed, especially on weekends. And then of course our official partners in the Atlantic Park surf space, WRV, which I think most all surfers
are got a pro shop coming.
The pro shop's open.
Oh, it's open now.
Yep.
Okay.
So stop by, check them out. They're phenomenal partners. They handle all of our retail. They do all of our coaching, our rentals. So
I think that's probably a great kind of transition here to talking about the pool itself.
Yep.
I know everyone's excited for me. They're probably saying, get onto the waves.
Right.
There have been some tweaks from what I've heard about the settings, the kind of sessions that you can book.
Yep.
What is the latest on what people can surf?
So I'll start from the lowest. We've got, of course, our beginner and novice, our first two introductory levels for the newer surfer, those just starting out in their surf journey. Very user-friendly wave, very mellow. The whole thing too with these surf lagoons is mitigating the barriers of surfing that you might find out in the ocean, which, we're not replacing the ocean. We're building a bridge, to the ocean. So most new surfers are catching waves within their first few attempts and standing up, which is
it's repetition.
It's repetition, it's consistency. You're not having to compete over waves that you might find yourself in a crowded spot.
Right. First Street Jetty, you're gonna bob and weave through traffic.
That's right. So yeah, you when it's your wave, and you don't have any kind of outside distractions, which is really incredible. So beginner and novice, those sessions include coaching. It starts with a 30-minute on-land lesson, learning all about the board, all about the lagoon, about currents, what you can expect. Our coaches with WRV are world-class coaches. They do a really great job. From kids to older adults and everybody in between. And then you kind of go into our progressive session. Our progressive session starts with our kind of Malibu M2 wave. I think that's right. We have so many waves, I kind of get them mixed up occasionally.
You mentioned Malibu, what is it, M2?
M2, yep.
So it's M1 and M2?
Yep.
Is there an M3 or is it just
There
M1?
is. So
there is.
The beginner, and novice and progressive are unchanged from 2025.
Gotcha.
Then we start getting into the adaptations from our previous or first season. The intermediate session was previously only the M4 wave, and I'm probably talking in like an overly specific technical language with the actual wave types. But now we have 2 different waves in our intermediate session. Yeah, so 2 waves on the intermediate. Previously in 2025 it was only the M4. Now it starts with the M3 and then goes into the M4. So what we did there is create this more kind of seamless trajectory as you're kind of progressing through your different levels. So one thing that's so cool about Atlantic Park Surf is we will see surfers and our guests that have never really surfed before start at beginner, and then very quickly they're going to progress to the next kind of levels. Advanced, Expert, and Pro, you have tracks now, so you can do Advanced, Expert, and Pro turns, or you can do Advanced, Expert, and Pro barrels. And they all have kind of a different makeup. The barrel sessions, you start with a little warm-up of turns waves, and then go straight into barrels for most of the session. So we've really kind of designed this wave menu so there's something for everybody. And if you're feeling like, hey, today I want to just work on my turns, you're going to kind of go to that turns track. Today I just kind of want to work on barrels, or I want to progress through the barrel levels. You can kind of go that track. So we've created a lot more, flexibility and different offerings.
More skill specific. What you want to work on.
Yeah, and it's so cool because now you can really get your equipment dialed in, or come play with different fin configurations. And you don't get that option really in the ocean as much. So.
All right, so we've talked about the CTO, Wise Guy Pizza. A whole bunch of other restaurants and shops and WRV Pro Shop and all this other fun stuff and all the waves. Obviously, that's a lot of for the surfers. That's the main attraction. New settings. Before we wrap this up, some events that you're able to maybe clue us in on to look out for in the next couple of weeks.
Sure, yeah, we've got a lot in the works for sure. It's gonna be a very exciting year for us. We actually kick off our programming on Friday night. We're gonna have our first kind of surf cinema of 2026.
So this Friday.
This Friday.
So while everybody's watching this, it is Monday. So it has already happened. What's after that?
So, okay, gotcha, yep. So after this, we're gonna kick off our start Surf Wellness later this spring, where we've partnered previously with Waring's Gym. We're gonna have different kind of lifestyle and wellness providers come out here. They might do like massages or stretching or yoga and things like that. And our first event or contest for this spring is gonna be April 18th, the Dream Team Challenge. We're inviting a lot of surf shops to put a 4-person team together, and then they're gonna kind of have it out for inaugural Dream Team Challenge Cup in the lagoon. So it's gonna be a very exciting event. We'll have a lot of regional surf shops from up and down the East Coast come for that, and some community teams as well. That event is actually presented by Wise Guy Pizza, our partner in that one. So we're very excited to have them take on that title sponsorship. And then we've got some things that we can't quite share just yet, but very exciting updates coming soon.
Awesome. Well, I think with that, that's about it for Hang 10. Nate.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks so much for joining me. And this has been great. I'm excited for 2026 at Atlantic Park. It's going to be quite a ride. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for coming on Hang 10. And I'm going to myself get in the pool and test the wave settings. So we'll have that after the break.
everybody? Welcome back to Hang 10. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the surf footage and the interview from Nate Stevens. Thanks, Nate, for coming on. Really informative stuff and hopefully a good kickstart to this new revamped Atlantic Park Surf. 2026 is going to be a really good year to be at the pool, to get your sessions in and just hang out in general. Seems like they got a really good idea for a lineup for when it comes to events. So stay up to date. We'll obviously have them as they come in on Hang 10. So yeah, look for that in the future. Other than that, surf was really fun. I was wearing a helmet for the first time in the pool, so that kind of threw me off a little bit. I was falling a bunch, especially in the barrel setting. It was a little weird to have a helmet on, but overall, still just really fun. Surfing, perfect waves, pretty much in our own backyard here in Hampton Roads. So it is really some awesome stuff. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to Hang 10. We will be back next week with more episodes.